Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. It's been a while since we've talked about Antonio Brown, but today's show is all around the latest news and rumors about Antonio Brown coming back to the Raiders. But I want you to stay and watch the entire show because I'm going to let you know if the Raiders do bring back AB, what happens. Then I'll tell you the only way that I would bring him back. And then at the very end, I'll let you know how many Chucky heads AB coming back to the Raiders. But first, let's dive into this latest news around Antonio Brown. So, for those of you that didn't know this, Antonio Brown was on a podcast and basically went off on, how Logan Paul's clout chasing, how he wants to play with Tom Brady, how he spoke with Bill Belichick, and how he recently spoke with Jon Gruden. Now, the internet absolutely erupted because this podcast that I'm going to refuse to name because they're just, trying to get a clickbait title out there, said Antonio Brown might go to the Raiders because he's been talking to Jon Gruden. That's not really true, okay? So Antonio Brown was asked a question. The question was, you wouldn't roll out a Raiders return. This is what he said. I was talking to Jon Gruden today, might I say. I don't know how it's going to go, but who knows? And nowhere in that does it say that Antonio Brown is going back to the Raiders. Also, between you and me, do we really think that he talked to Jon Gruden? Throw it in the comments. Now, I get it. This entire idea about Antonio Brown, okay? It's intriguing. He was a player that was supposed to be a solid player for this organization, and it just simply didn't work out. Now, I don't honestly know if he talked to Gruden. I know the chances of AB becoming a Raider again, but you're going to have to watch the entire video to figure that one out. So how about this? Would you want AB back? I want you to type Y for yes, or I want you to type FAB for no. Now, I am going to make this the pinned comment, and I want every single person that watches this video to comment on this, okay? Would you want AB back? So I want you to scroll on down. You might get within YouTube ad break. Then when you scroll back up, I want you to click the subscribe button so you know when we put out videos around Antonio Brown. So you know when we put out videos about Raiders rumors and news. So subscribe. The entire month here is all about my loyal subscribers. And the last time that I went live, which I do every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Terrell B., Adam, Central Cali Bear, CJ Jones, Jack Bishop, they all said one thing and one thing in common. That was FAB. Make sure that you subscribe to the Raiders Report. It's youtube.com/Raiders Report. I'm trying to get to 40K subscribers. All right. Now, let's dive into this, all right? Let's just say that AB does come back. Let's just say he does come back. This is what happens, okay? So if Antonio Brown comes back, the Raiders, they get a number one wide receiver. Now, I think this is what the depth chart would look like with AB. Man, it's been a while, hasn't it? It has been a long time since we've seen this. Obviously, now Tyrell Williams can be the number two wide receiver that we paid him to be. Hunter Renfrow can dominate in the slot like he did this year. And then you have Antonio Brown. Yes, this looks a lot better. Yes, if Antonio Brown can play up to his level that we know he can, this is great. But we already tried it, didn't we? I think we can all agree on that. Okay, here's my second point. If Antonio Brown comes back, sure, we have the number one wide receiver. Gruden gets Derek Carr a star. Again, something that we've talked about numerous times on the Raiders Report. I don't need to sit here and tell you that he's talented. You guys know that, right? If you go back and look at his last 6 years, 6 straight years over 1,000 receiving yards. A career-high 15 touchdowns in 2018. If this is the Antonio Brown that the Raiders would have gotten, he would have excelled in our offense. He would have helped Derek Carr. And we probably wouldn't be sitting here again trying to figure out if Derek Carr is the franchise quarterback. The last time Carr did have a very good wide receiver was probably 2015, 2016, when he was up to MVP caliber level. Now, the last reason, you're going to have to find out right after I tell you about Pro Flowers. Go to chatsports.com/flowers. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Do you have anything for your significant other? Did you get anything for your mom or girlfriend? If you want to stay in that relationship, I got a deal for you here. Go to chatsports.com/flowers. 50% off all flowers and gifts. And if for some reason your mom, your daughter, whoever doesn't like flowers, they got cookies. I've never met anybody that doesn't like cookies. Go to 15% off, or go to Pro Flowers, chatsports.com/flowers, 15% off all gifts and flowers. All right, you ready? My last reason. If Antonio Brown comes back, what happens? Honestly, I think Mike Mayock leaves the Raiders. I think he would be so upset that he would leave. I mean, let's face it. AB and Mike Mayock, they always butted heads. They never got along. Why? Mike Mayock demanded respect. Mike Mayock wanted everyone to buy into the new Raiders system. Antonio Brown didn't do that. AB did AB. Now, I think Gruden, he was the one that defended AB in the offseason. And I think AB coming back means that Gruden went behind Mayock's back and went to Mark Davis and said, hey, this is the guy we got to bring. So, what I want you guys to do right now is I want you to pick a side, okay? I want you to pick a side for Antonio Brown, and I want you to pick a side with Mike Mayock. Now, when I think about this entire thing, I think you either got to pick, do you want to have Antonio Brown, or do you want to have Mike Mayock? Because I think you can only have one. If you bring back AB in silver and black, it means you got to say bye-bye to Mayock. If you're going to keep Mayock, I don't think you're going to have AB. So I want you to throw it in the comments section. AB for Antonio Brown or Mike Mayock. Between you and me, I'm typing my MM. We have 5 picks in the top 100. Mike Mayock proved this past year that we have, him and Gruden have a great ability to find rookies. Give me MM. Now, how about this? Perfect world. The only way I would take Antonio Brown back, okay? The only way. If Mike Mayock gives it the okay. And Brown plays for the veteran minimum of $915K. Remember, he signed originally a 3-year deal, $51 million, had a potential to make $54 million. Then he left the Raiders, went to the Patriots, where then he signed a 1-year, $9 or $15 million deal. So getting him to play for the vet minimum, very unlikely. Maybe even more unlikely, I would want him to delete every single social media account he has. Twitter, get rid of it. Instagram, got to get rid of it. YouTube, delete it. Because every time that this man goes on social media, my head wants to explode. Or you could do this. We could say, okay, Antonio Brown showed that he's willing to play for the vet minimum. He deleted all his social media accounts. He's doing all the right things. The issue, I don't know if I would trust him still. So you could tell other teams, hey, AB's changed. Use him as trade bait. Let's get some of our picks back. Who says no? That's the only way I'm taking Antonio Brown back. Now, I know a bunch of you guys bought Antonio Brown jerseys. I saw the amount that, people were lighting on fire, stomping on the ground at the first Raiders game. If you did buy an Antonio Brown jersey and you need a new one, I got a deal for you, okay? Go to chatsports.com/NFL jersey. Unbelievable deal right now for all Raiders gear as well. And if you don't want a jersey, because guess what? Maybe you already have a Josh Jacobs, a Max Crosby, a player that we can rely on. You can go out and get a t-shirt. They got hats. You get this half zip. Go to chatsports.com/Raiders Tale. They got gear up to 50% off. Limited time only. I'm trying to help you guys out if you did buy an AB jersey. I know we put them on the show. I'm sorry. So go get yourself some Raiders gear that you can actually count on wearing this upcoming season and beyond. Now, for those of you that are my loyal watchers, you'll know that my Chucky head rumor explainer is this. 0 Chucky heads, Tucker will tuck that. 1 Chucky head is a small shred of truth. 2 Chucky heads, people are talking. 3 Chucky heads, it's pretty likely. I like to think 75% chance. 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby. On today's show, AB going back to the Raiders is 0 Chucky heads, FAB. Changing it up because Antonio Brown will not be a Raider again. And I'll say it here. I said it before, I would drink 84 beers in 6 minutes if it happened. Shit, I'll do it again. Okay? So the report out there was that Brown spoke to Jon Gruden. I don't really believe that he might go back to the Raiders. A podcast was just trying to throw out a title. It's all good. I get it. Remember, the Raiders traded and released Brown in 2019. If you, live under a rock, you can go back and watch all my past videos about me just literally wanting to go insane about Antonio Brown. The thing here is, and I know a lot of people I think would agree with me in this statement, was AB actually ever a Raider? Like, seriously, was he actually ever a Raider? Because I know a lot of people are saying, silver and black, once a Raider, always a Raider. But was he actually ever a Raider? I never saw him play. Never did, right? So, I get the whole idea. I get that he would help our offense be a little bit better. But let's be real. We did this song and dance before. Now, maybe if he promises to never get in a hot air balloon, or maybe if he promises never to go in a cryotherapy machine, maybe if we can find him a helmet that fits, sure. But I can't trust AB, and I'm not going to trust AB. So will he be a Raider? No. FAB. So who watched this video to the very, very end? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to tag me on Instagram and I want you to post your FAB pictures, because I know there's a lot out there. I went to the first game in Oakland. I went to that Broncos Monday night game, and I saw the amount of people that were stepping on jerseys, doing all these things. What I want you to do is I want you to post a picture on Instagram. I want you to tag me in it on at Mitchell Renz 365, and I'm going to share them to my story. I want to see how many people we can get there. So if you want to shout out for the people that watch till the end, tag me on your Instagram, FAB. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.